Hey everyone, and welcome back. It's time for another deep dive, and this one's for all you beer lovers out there who've ever thought about working in the industry.
That's right. Today, we're talking about how to become a brew house operator. And we've got some awesome resources to help you get interview ready.
We're cracking open Brew House Operator, the complete career guide, which is packed with real-life interview questions and insider tips.
It's like having a backstage pass to the hiring process.
Okay, let's jump right in with a question that might seem like a no-brainer. Can you tell us about your experience working with brewing equipment? Seems simple enough, right?
Well, it's a bit of a trick question
How so?
because while home brewing experience is great, interviewers are usually looking for experience with industrial-sized equipment.
Ah, I see. So it's not just about knowing how to brew, it's about knowing how to brew big.
Exactly. Think about the equipment you've used. Have you worked with a mash tun, a lauter tun, a whirlpool?
The guide mentions that it's not enough to just say, I've used one. You need to showcase your skills.
Right. Instead of saying, I've used a lauter tun, you could say, I've mastered the art of lautering, ensuring a clear wort and optimal extract efficiency.
Okay, so it's about showing them you understand the how and the why behind the process.
Precisely. And it's about demonstrating your passion for brewing.
And this is where our favorite AI tool, RoleCatcher, can really come in handy, right?
Absolutely. Imagine being able to plug in the job description and have RoleCatcher highlight the specific equipment mentioned.
That's like having a cheat sheet for the interview.
Exactly. Plus, RoleCatcher can analyze your answers and even provide feedback on your video responses. So if you're nervous about your body language,
RoleCatcher can help you project that brewmaster confidence. I love it. Okay, let's move on to a question that's all about consistency. How do you ensure quality control in the brewing process?
this is a big one. You're not just brewing for yourself anymore. You're responsible for maintaining the brewery's reputation.
The guide talks about the importance of sanitation and meticulous record keeping.
It's all about having a system, a process that guarantees consistent results, batch after batch.
So instead of just saying, I'm a stickler for cleanliness, you could talk about specific tools or methods you've used to monitor your brews.
Exactly. Maybe you're obsessed with temperature control during fermentation, or maybe you swear by a particular hydrometer.
Show them you're not just brewing, you're conducting a symphony of flavor.
I like that. And speaking of symphonies, did you know that specialization in quality control is becoming a big thing in the industry?
Really, the guide mentioned that too.
As breweries grow, they need dedicated experts to ensure every single drop meets their standards.
That makes sense. It's not just about the art of brewing anymore, it's also about the science. Okay, on to question number 3, and this one's all about those unexpected challenges that pop up during brewing. How do you handle unexpected challenges during the brewing process?
Ah, yes, because let's face it, brewing is full of surprises.
You never know when you might encounter a stuck mash, a finicky piece of equipment.
Or even a power outage in the middle of a brew day. It happens.
The guide emphasizes that it's not about never making a mistake. It's about how you handle it.
Exactly.
So, have you ever had a batch go a little off track?
Tell them about it. But here's the key focus on your problem-solving skills. How did you identify the issue? What steps did you take? And what did you learn?
The guide gives a great example of a brewer who encountered a temperature spike during fermentation. Instead of panicking, they adjusted the cooling system, monitored the process closely, and saved the batch.
See, that's what they want to hear. Resourcefulness, a cool head under pressure, those are valuable assets in a brewery.
And if you need help crafting your story, RoleCatcher can help with that too. It can analyze your answers and suggest ways to make them more impactful.
It's like having a storytelling coach in your pocket.
Awesome. Okay, let's move on to a question that often gets overlooked: cleanliness. How do you ensure that brewing equipment is properly cleaned and maintained?
Ah, yes, the not-so-glamorous side of brewing, but arguably the most important.
Absolutely. Sanitation is non-negotiable in a brewery.
It's not just about keeping things sparkly clean, it's about creating a sterile environment where the beer can ferment properly.
The guide stresses the importance of understanding different cleaning agents and their applications. Have you ever worked with a CLP system, for example?
Mentioning your experience with CIP systems or clean-in-place systems shows that you're familiar with industry-standard sanitation practices.
They're like the superheroes of brewery cleaning.
I love it. And here's another thing to keep in mind. The guide mentions that some breweries prefer brewers with experience in preventative maintenance.
So if you're the type who likes to spot potential problems before they arise, highlight that skill.
Being able to troubleshoot and maintain equipment is a huge plus. It shows you're invested in the brewery's success for the long haul. And it's not just about keeping things running, it's also about career growth. The guide actually mentions that brewers with strong technical skills are often on the fast track to becoming supervisors or even brewery engineers.
Right, so those preventative maintenance skills could really pay off down the line. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about the creative side of brewing with this question. What is your approach to recipe development?
Ah, yes. This is where you get to show off your passion for beer styles, ingredients, and the art of fermentation.
It's about showing them you're not just following a recipe, you're crafting an experience.
Exactly. The guide suggests brushing up on your knowledge of different beer styles. Are you all about those hoppy IPAs, or maybe you're drawn to the rich history of Belgian ales?
It's about finding your niche, that thing that makes you tick as a brewer.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to let your enthusiasm shine through. Do you draw inspiration from classic styles? Are you fascinated by the science behind different yeasts?
Share that passion. Let them see what gets you excited about brewing. And hey, this is another area where RoleCatcher can give you a serious advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine being able to input a brewery's website into RoleCatcher and having it instantly analyze the beer styles they specialize in.
Talk about a game changer. You could walk into that interview armed with insights into their specific brewing philosophy.
It's like having a secret weapon for tailoring your answers.
I love it. Okay, let's move on to a question that's all about consistency. How do you ensure that brewing procedures are followed accurately and consistently?
This is where you show them you're a stickler for detail.
Right, because consistency is key in the brewing world.
Think of it like this. You're the orchestra conductor, making sure everyone's playing the same tune at the right time.
Love that analogy. The guide emphasizes the importance of those detailed instructions, those standard operating procedures, or SOPs.
Exactly. Have you ever had to develop or refine SOPs in your brewing experience?
That's a great point to bring up,
Yeah.
because it shows you understand the importance of process control.
Absolutely. Did your improvements streamline production, enhance quality, boost efficiency?
Those are the wins you want to highlight.
And, the guide also points out that a strong grasp of SOPs is essential for anyone looking to move into a management role.
That makes sense. Leading a team requires clear communication and a deep respect for those tried and true processes. All right, ready for question number 7. This one focuses on a tiny but mighty element of brewing. Can you tell us about your experience with yeast management?
Ah, yeast. Those microscopic workhorses that bring so much flavor and character to our beloved brews.
Interviewers want to know that you understand how to keep those little guys happy.
It's all about creating the ideal environment for fermentation.
The guide stresses the importance of proper pitching rates, temperature control, and maintaining a sterile environment.
It's a delicate dance, that's for sure.
Have you ever encountered a stuck fermentation?
Oh, that's every brewer's nightmare. But it happens.
Yeah, it's a chance to show off those problem-solving skills.
Exactly. Talk about how you identified the issue, what steps you took to troubleshoot, and how you brought that fermentation back to life.
It's like being a beer detective.
I love it. And you know what else? RoleCatcher can be a huge help here too.
Oh, how so?
Imagine being able to input specific yeast strains or fermentation techniques that are mentioned in the job description.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
RoleCatcher can analyze that information and help you tailor your answers to showcase your knowledge of the brewery's specific fermentation practices.
It's like having a personalized playbook for the interview.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next set of questions, which are all about efficiency and cost effectiveness. So it's not just about brewing good beer, it's about brewing it smart.
Absolutely. Let's face it, breweries have to watch their bottom line just like any other business.
Question number 8 really dives into this. How do you ensure that brewing processes are efficient and cost-effective? What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, this is where you show them that you're not just a creative brewer, but also a savvy one. Think back to your past experiences. Have you ever found a way to streamline a process or reduce waste?
Maybe you discovered a way to shorten a brew day without sacrificing quality.
Or perhaps you found a more efficient way to use ingredients, like getting that last bit of extract from the grain.
Those are the details that can make a big difference.
Absolutely. And don't forget about those quantifiable results. Did you implement a new system that saved water, reduced energy consumption during the mash?
It's about thinking green while brewing green.
Exactly. And, RoleCatcher can be a fantastic resource for this too.
Oh, really? How so?
Well, it can analyze industry trends and give you insights into what breweries are prioritizing right now in terms of efficiency and sustainability.
So you can walk into that interview armed with the latest knowledge.
Precisely. Okay, ready for the final question?
Hit me with it.
This one's all about safety. Can you tell us about your experience with safety procedures in the brewing industry?
Ah, yes. Safety first.
It's crucial in a brewery environment.
Oh,
There's
my.
heavy equipment, hot liquids, and a lot of moving parts.
The guide really emphasizes the importance of knowing OSHA regulations and any brewery-specific protocols.
Absolutely. And don't be shy about highlighting any safety training courses or certifications you have.
Like forklift operation or first aid.
Exactly. It shows them you're serious about maintaining a safe workplace.
And of course, RoleCatcher can lend a helping hand here too.
Right. You bet. It can actually analyze those job descriptions and identify any specific safety requirements a brewery might have.
So it's like having a customized safety checklist for each interview.
You got it.
That's amazing. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have. But before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that the Brew House Operator Guide emphasizes throughout: sustainability.
Ah, yes. It's not just about making great beer anymore. It's about doing it in a way that's good for the planet.
Exactly. Breweries are becoming more and more focused on reducing their environmental impact, whether it's minimizing water usage, cutting down on waste, or sourcing ingredients locally.
It's inspiring to see the industry moving in this direction.
It really is, and it makes you think, as a future brewhouse operator, how could you contribute to a more sustainable brewing world?
That's a great question. What unique skills or perspectives could you bring to the table? Definitely something to ponder as you embark on this exciting career journey.
Absolutely. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the world of becoming a brewhouse operator.
Cheers to that. And for all you future brewers out there, remember to check out RoleCatcher. It's got everything you need to refine your skills, crush those interviews, and land your dream job in the craft beer industry.
Because in the end, it's all about combining your passion for brewing with the knowledge and confidence to turn that passion into a successful career.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive, everyone, and cheers to your brewing adventures.